My name is Ayana Gilbert, and I graduate this winter. I am on track to walk this spring, and if no one else says it, I will. I am so proud of myself and the academic journey I have been on. I'm not usually vulnerable and don't open up to many people about my trials and tribulations, but the close friends I do have tell me to speak up because I'm nothing short of amazing. I was diagnosed with juvenile Parkinson's prior to my 21st birthday. My family was afraid for me, and I lost numerous friends. My grandmother told me I have two options: wither away and die, or find something to live for. As a kid and teenager, she already knew I was too stubborn to give up on life, although I still struggle with depression and anxiety. I didn't grow up privileged, wealthy, nor with connections. I grew up with just enough to get by. I grew up where gang culture was and is the norm. Selling drugs just to get by was also a part of the norm. Because of this mentality, I've grown desensitized. My dad was a part of the culture and my best friend. My best friend for the last 18 years is a part of the reason why I'm still here and able to share my story with you. After being diagnosed with a terminal illness, I didn't know who to turn to or how to navigate life. There were nights where I could call her and she would listen to me cry. And it might sound silly, but I am forever grateful for her just doing that. I had to teach myself how to walk and talk again. Even though these aspects still aren't perfect, I've gotten far. I am ashamed to admit it, but I also was once immersed in the gang culture too. It wasn't until one day my best friend and I were driving home from Portland, and she quietly said to me, "You can't do this. You're the smartest person I know. Living the way we live now is only going to get you dead or in prison. Please go to school. Please make it out." Nevertheless, we remained friends, but I attended TCC. While others around me celebrated getting their GED, I celebrated earning my associates because I already obtained my high school diploma. It was 2018 when I walked, very proud of my accomplishments and watching my grandmother proud of me as well. But later on in the year, she soon passed away due to a surgery complication. She was also diagnosed with Parkinson's, and on her deathbed, she apologized profusely to me. All I could do was reassure her that I was going to be okay and it wasn't her fault. It's a hereditary gene. My sister, who is 5 years younger than me, had just given birth 9 months prior. She was handling the situation okay, well, as best as we thought, given our grandmother raised us. My grandmother asked me to look after my sister and the baby because we knew my sister is a wild and reckless person. I had agreed but didn't think she would spiral as bad as she has. Fast forward a few years, and I am now beginning my journey at UWT. My circle of friends have fallen. One whose older brother is a famous NBA player died falling asleep behind the wheel in a car accident on I-5. My friend, not the NBA player. Her Facebook profile linked us as family because we grew up together as well. My inbox was flooded with messages from news reporters and basketball fans with crazy questions of conspiracy theories with no remorse or no time to mourn. My sister developed a drug addiction that was extremely bad. I ended up taking custody of my two nephews. My best friend did, in fact, end up going to prison and writes to me often. She exclaims to me she is working on her associate's degree and is hard and doesn't know how I did it. This made me smile. I don't know why. Now I'm at the finish line of my journey. I have prevailed. During my time, I've gotten to learn about business and logistics while dancing in the streets of Shanghai. I was able to gain knowledge of the Spanish language and culture while climbing the mountains of Machu Picchu. My goal is to join foreign service and to continue to grow and see the world. My mother thinks I'm too ambitious because I'm a Black woman with a disability. My question is, why not? I've made the dean's list and I'm a part of a prestigious honor society. I want to beat the statistics, and with everything I've been through, I believe I can still come out on top.
Positivity for women from men. My brothers, are y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you ready?
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. You always know. I always start off with introduction. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with introduction for me. First of all, my name is Donnelly Divine. I don't seek to get paid, likes, or a crap load of followers. I just want to be a voice for those who feel they don't have one, and an ear for those who always listen to others, but never have anyone to listen to them. And a source of positivity when anyone needs some motivation to carry on. Love makes the world go around, and I have so much to give. Now, with it, Rio, let's hear a little bit about you, boss. All right.
Dang, that was one hell of an intro. You after that. Oh man,
I need to come after that.
Well, hey, I'm Rio, average guy, I just be chilling, man. I came to speak some truth and, say some kindness.
Respect. Mr. Sigma Uno.
I am Sigma Uno. I am a community person. I love my people. I'm a spiritual person. I love my spirituality, and I just love people.
Oh, so adorable. Mr. Impossible.
Impossible, man. You can find me at Impossible Talk That Crap. You can find me at Impossible Prince King God. I live a crap life. You know what I mean? I love metaphysics. I love my family. I love writing, poetry, music. I love galvanizing strong minds and then finding innovative ways to create, enhance our environment, our community. So that's what I'm all about.
Respect. I gotta give you a shout out. Hey, Mr. Impossible, talk that crap. Real quick. Give us a little brief description.
Of Talk That Crap?
Yes, sir. Just let it
It's just a platform. It's just a platform where you can just come and understand in-depth spiritual evolution of self. Is mostly really about in-depth understanding of spirit and mind, how to use the occult science and how to enhance your life, passing that thing down to the next person. It's all about taking a creative way to life, that no matter what happens into your life, always have a central point of innovation and understanding and bringing balance in your life. That's what crap is about. Creative rhymes, always positive. So when you take a crap on life, it doesn't matter what life throws at you, you can take a shit on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what crap life is all about.
I love that. I was like, you know what? I got to give you a shout out on that one. Because when I started this platform, I ultimately wanted to have this platform to where I can talk about my spiritual journey while at the same time bring positivity, love, and we dive into esoteric things. And when I met you, I was like, you know what? I was like, that's your niche. I was like, you take over that. I can still speak about how I'm moving through life. We discuss things like that. But I want to reach, I feel that my biggest calling is to reach those who feel they don't have a voice, and also at the same time to bring love back to the world, because we're living in a time where it's very negative. And with that, I want to flow into, first of all, I got to give a big shout out to Ayana Gilbert. What y'all heard, the intro coming in, was her speaking her truth and telling her story. And I felt that I needed to throw that in there because this is a personal friend of mine who I met her when I was still on the West Coast, and the things that she has gone through and the way that she has helped me through her life experience is the same way that I try and help people. And with her telling her story, it really, I was like, that's perfect for the topic that I plan to do today, which is going to be positivity for women from men. And just listening to her, I was like, the way that women constantly are overcoming whatever is put in front of them, the way that they have to make that choice, and the choice that they often make it always ends up leading into a way of bettering others' lives, including their own. I mean, sometimes it may end up taking them down a dark path, but the way that they are always resilient and bounce back from it, my gosh. Like, I have so many stories of women that I personally know who have done things to where it might not have always have been positive right then and there, or even everybody has their own reality and their own belief system. And with that, there's some people who may look at it like, oh, you really messed up. And there's other people who look at it and see the longevity of what the outcome can be. And they're just like, that can turn around and actually do very well. And that might, a lot of times that's what the woman was seeking. But what I want to go through first is I'm going to ask a question. You know, I always started off with interrogation. We ask questions and we flow to a conversation. But I feel like all of us, we already know each other, so it's going to flow straight to a conversation. So with that, I hate to say this, but I ain't gonna hold you. Let's flow straight to it, all right? So how do you define positivity in the context of a relationship and interactions with women? Impossible. You already know your last, so I ain't gonna do you like that. Mr. Rio.
How do I define positivity in the context of relationship and interaction? How do I find positivity in it?
Yep. How do you define positivity in the context of relationships and interactions with women?
Okay. You know how we bring the structure and logic? A woman brings that other side of the pot because a woman thinks on a different money scale than we do. You know, so we'll think of some shit that sometimes it be right then and right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that woman will be your second counsel. So when she step in, she's thinking from a different perspective. Like that's also your guidance. You lead her, but she guides you as well. That's if you listening to her correctly.
Mm.
See, the relationship is give and take on both halves. So the woman gives more than just the birthing and all of that and the cooking and the cleaning. She also gives guidance as well. Because I don't know about y'all, but up until I was up in middle school, I ain't have a male teacher. All of my teachers were women.
I didn't even think of that. I was like, dang, I think my first male teacher was high school.
Real talk. All of my teachers were women. So they give that guidance that you need. Like, I feel like that's where that knowing right from wrong comes from. Because sometimes men, we can make rash decisions. But that good nature, that good harness, that comes from listening to your woman.
Facts.
And then, like, as a man, we've all felt this way before we made a big purchase. Like, man, my girl gonna kill me.
Guilty.
We've all said it.
Guilty.
Man, my lady gonna kill me. Because you know what you doing ain't right, and she gonna tell you it. So it's always that balance. She's like your second counselor, just like the president needs a VP.
Mm-hmm.
That's your VP. That's who you come to when you like, hey, I got this plan. What you think about it?
Yes.
After she give you her insight, then that's when you supposed to go with your move, or you not. But that's what I see my woman as. I see my woman as my second counsel. That's my second hand. Like, I can't make a move without me talking with her about it. Because she has that insight that I don't, or that I may not have. That's also where that confidence comes from. Because the woman breathes life into the man.
Mm.
And sometimes you can notice it. When the man is in a good, healthy relationship, that man starts to thrive. He starts to do good. But when he's in a toxic relationship, Just bad stuff happens to that man for no fucking reason, and he can't understand what's going on. It's that you have the wrong energy. That woman isn't breathing life into you the way that she's supposed to. And it also could mean that man isn't doing his part on that woman, which isn't making her breathe life into him, which is the give and take, the yin and the yang of life.
Mm-hmm.
So that woman brings, in the context of a relationship and the positivity, she brings everything that you don't have. That's what I see it as. And that's why she is, quote unquote, your other half.
I can't even read that. It looked like Hebrew or something. All right, Mr. Sigma Uno. How do you define positivity in the context of relationships and interactions with women?
First of all, you have to understand who she is. So that is a long list. There's a long line of conversations, and not just conversations to talk about who you are, or to listen and understand who she is. Because when you're listening to her, you'll find out if she's a friend. You'll find out if she's the potential person that you're supposed to be with, or you'll find out that you just aren't supposed to be with her at all.
Mm.
And those are all the potentials. So when you rush into something with the woman, you can end up with the wrong person, and you can waste both of your time.
Facts on facts.
Because she is for somebody.
I agree with that completely.
And it may not be for you. But when you do find that one, I guarantee the conversation, when she's for you or you're for each other, that conversation is going to be about building, about both of you, about what you believe, about the system of belief, about elevation, and she'll bring all of that. Mind you, she's the creator of life. She gives life. So she understands who you are because she has the ability to give life. And when I say that in depth, I mean, just in a recent conversation I had, we were talking about the earth and how the percentage of the earth is 75% is water, a certain percentage earth, minerals, and all the rest of those things. So during the conversation, we realized all those minerals are with the child in the sack. So everything that we are is inside of that woman and given from the woman to the child. She's a creator of life. That's one thing we have to honor first. Because if we don't honor and respect that, we don't have the wherewithal or the honor to give to her. Or we won't respect her. So the loose terms and the ugly thing that women are called by men is from a lack of understanding. Because they are worth more than that. They're worth the respect. They're worth the honor. They are goddesses and empresses. So that is the beginning stage for me. And that's what I believe the beginning or the baseline of relationships and interaction with women is.
Beautiful. I'm gonna go real quick before I have Mr. Impossible drop his.
y'all gonna stop coming for me, man. Y'all gonna stop coming.
Hey, man. Hey, man. You know it get deep when you hit the mic.
I'm giving you praise because every time, like, you are the you are how Eminem redid hip hop, bro.
Mhm.
You come in and you get done, you drop the mic and walk off. Everybody's like, damn. So
Facts, bro.
like with it, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, I want to give the positivity in the context of a relationship and interactions with women. And all my times of dealing with women, there have been some times where it was negative, but I know that they had a lot of times some things were based off of trauma or things that they dealt with, or maybe even a lack of guidance growing up. But even with it, they all a lot of times at some point in their life they reach that accountability and they turn everything around, they do a 180. Now, I'm not saying all of them do, but at some point in a woman's life, they think back on things that they have done. The positive thoughts always come through. And no matter how much they try and fight it, women are always going to sit there and try and do what's right for those that they care about. And I mean, if you're on the other side of that, where they might be doing you wrong, it's because they care enough for who they care about. So the thing that I love the most about women when it comes down to a relationship is they're going to tell you about yourself. They'll tell you about yourself enough to where if you're not listening, then that's when they'll start backing away. They'll hold themselves accountable with their boundaries. They have their boundaries. They'll remove themselves when they feel like it's necessary. They'll do all that they can to make sure that they are being their authentic selves. They will walk the path that they know they're supposed to walk. They're not going to care about their enemies, and they will be ruthless to them. Now, if you are a woman, if you are on that woman's side to where she cares, she's going to hold you down. With the interactions with women, a lot of them that I run across, they are standoffish because of the fact that they're going to gauge who it is that's trying to come into their life. They're not very open right off the bat. Now, again, I am in my 30s. I can't talk about very much about the younger generation. I can only really talk about my kids when it comes down to younger generation. So I have to be between there. But the women that I have conversed with and who are in my life, they have taught me so much when it comes down to relationships and even with interactions. And I'm not going to lie, us men, we're pretty freaking stubborn. A lot of times women will tell us what it is, and we have to sit there and go touch the hot stove to find out that it's hot our damn selves. They'll tell us, like, yeah, that person's not there for you. But we'll sit there and be thinking in our minds anyway, like, yeah, or we have our own little idea of what's going to happen, and they already know what's going to happen. And then when it happens, we're feeling the type of way, and they're just like, they try and comfort us, and majority of the time they won't rub it in our face that they knew what was going to happen, or even say I told you so. So in the context of relationships, they are nurturing. They're straightforward. They're either straightforward or they're going to tell you on the back burner away from other people. They're not going to embarrass you in public unless it's something where they've told you many times, and now it's like that's the only way you're going to get it because they understand you enough to where they know that the only way you're going to get it is if they bring it into a situation to where you have no choice but to acknowledge what they're saying because now you're put on the spot. In the context of interactions with women, I would have to say this, and I'm still trying to stay positive with it. I feel like sometimes women don't understand women. And when you say cat fight, okay, Rio. When you say cat fight, I feel like they have the same intentions, but it's the fact that the loyalties are to different people. So therefore, now you have that conflict. With men, it's more of a testosterone thing. With women, it's more of a, this is what's going to happen. And the other one's like, this is what's going to happen, but you have that confliction. But I want to bring it into where we can speak straight positivity into the women who are listening and keep that on flowing. And I'm going to send it to Impossible. And Impossible, you're going to start that off after you answer this question. All right?
Yeah. Define positivity in the context of relationship. Well, first of all, I want to say that for me, that woman is the very air I breathe. You know what I mean? She is the reason why I do what I do. She is the reason why I stay disciplined in the way I stay disciplined. Is the reason why I'm innovative at all times, because she gives off the understanding that in her security, in her ability to be vulnerable, to relax, to be at ease, to be able to give her that is all the reasons why you stay down, you stay disciplined. And what she gives back from that is everything that you guys speak about, the cooking, the cleaning, the good information, because she's not stressed about something. She's not worried about what all that is. So the positivities. I'm making up new words out here, positivities.
Do it.
So when you giving and you understanding what that is that you're giving to her, it's going to reciprocate all the time. The fact is, if you don't understand what you're giving to her, if you're giving something that standoffish, it's hard to be positive. It's hard for her to be positive. What are you giving off, my men, my fellas, my kings, my gods? What are you giving to the woman that she can reciprocate back to you? And that's where the interaction comes in. It's as Rio said, it's a yin yang. Well, if you already on 10 and she already at 10, and then y'all come home, we got a tidal wave in the house. And really, everybody just really want to express where they coming from. Where's the positivity in that where one cannot hear each other? Because they just want to say what they want to say. The positivity is about being understanding and vulnerable when she speaks, how she speaks. To understand that, hey, you know what? When she come home and say, "Ooh, baby, you know what? Sit down, let me rub your feet. Can I get you a glass of wine? Can I, let me cook dinner tonight. Let me do something for you tonight. Do something. Let me give you a back rub." Being able to share that all the time, it stays her in a different mind. Again, a great book for that is A Way of the Superior Man, because it teaches you how to give positivity all the time, no matter what the incident, no matter if she come home and she giving you the business, you will understand that from a spiritual, psychological, and emotional context, where now you can interact.
Oh, we lost him.
Gosh, yeah.
It can never be taken away.
Oh. Now he back.
Go ahead and kick affirmations.
What happened? I went somewhere. Affirmations for women from men. I am the love of light. I give to all. I embrace eternity now. I give to my family love, power, peace, reciprocity. I give to others love, understanding, compassion. We are one and the same. We harmonize as one. Affirmations are wonderful things. The thing that you can say to yourself is the most powerful thing. Your internal dialogue. Repeat it over and over again. I'm a great and mighty goddess. And then say your name for whoever the queen or whoever the goddess is, whatever your name is. Repeat things of that you embody great wealth. One of my affirmations is I embody wealth and love. So that you just embody that. So my ladies, anything that you can give to yourself, from yourself, is the greatest gift you can ever have. And imbue yourself, pour yourself in with love. Just dwell in the very center of the all of that immortal love. That's the greatest affirmation that you can have, is to repeat the thing that you embody every day. And when you embody love from a place of essence, when it touches you on the cells and in the blood and it flows through you, when it touches the toes and it goes to the top of your head, when you look in the mirror in the morning, when you know you embodied in love, then when you speak with that power. And that's for my ladies today.
Oh, it's on me.
That's what's up.
Hey, you can put me on the hot
I know it's hard to follow that, right?
seat. So it is hard to follow that. Dang.
It's not.
All right,
No, it's not.
so
It's just a conversation.
my affirmations for women. Yeah, you're right. My affirmations for women. Let me see. A lot of y'all ain't gonna want to hear, but I believe in like the Japanese and the Chinese. They do some shit right when it comes down to their mindset, and they believe in breaking a person down and building them back up. So before the world can break you down with anything ugly, your affirmations should start with everything that you know, and everybody knows some ugly things about themselves. It should start off with that. And then once you've weeded out all of that ugly shit, then you start to say the positive things that you know damn well you is. Because you can't progress without seeing the bad in yourself, because you can't fix something that you don't see a problem with.
Yeah.
So if you don't call your own problems out, you'll never see it as a problem. So you have to look yourself in the mirror and you have to call your own problems out to yourself. And then after you call your problems out, you bring up everything you got to combat those problems and to help you overcome those problems. So the affirmations for me should never start off with something good. It should always start off with your ugly and what you're trying to overcome.
Goddamn.
Because if you constantly just seeing good, you never see the bad in yourself. And when you never see the bad in yourself, that's a dangerous thing. Because you always feel like you're right. Sometimes you got to see the wrong in yourself to feel like you're wrong. You know, so as an affirmation, yeah, you can say the good, but sometimes you got to say that bad in there sometimes. So just to remember, this is what I got to overcome. Or, hey, even sometimes this is what I have overcome. Because just because you've overcome it don't mean it's not still a part of you. You know, it's all in having a balanced mindset. When you have a balanced mindset, it's not all, you know, not saying not to think highly of yourself, but no lie, if you don't see the bad in yourself, that truly is the definition of a narcissistic person. Despite how many people feel like, you know, just because a person hurts your feelings, that person's narcissistic. No, scientifically and statistically, there are about 12% of people on this earth that's narcissistic. No lie. And I was just speaking to my mom about this. What people are looking for when they mean a heartless person, they're looking for sociopaths.
So I get that point of view, but even in the ugly, you still have to call those things as though they are. Even in the times you're struggling or doing the worst, the good is in there under all that bad.
Yeah,
I agree.
always. And that's why I say you have to include the bad with the good. I'm not saying.
Can I ask this question to that? Because we understand that words speak power, and we're speaking power all the time. So if you know you're doing affirmations based upon what you know internally, you already want to change, because that's why you're speaking the affirmation, is to change the polarity, to change the frequency, to change the idea, to change the very essence of you going through that thing. So if I want to change the very thing that I'm going through, why would I speak that out verbally, and then I'm gonna turn right around and then speak the good behind it? I'm already knocking myself off of balance, because I ain't speaking with power.
Not necessarily.
I'm speaking with confusion. I'm speaking with confusion because in one part I'm saying I'm bad, and then I turn around and say I'm good. We already know we bad.
But
That's what the whole affirmation was about.
But the
Yeah.
things that we're dealing with are all byproducts of the world that we're living in. So we can't accept
Okay.
it as behavior that came from us. We're only reacting to what's around us. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we can't lay that on us as something that belongs to us. That's why the affirmation pushes it off. That brings a vibration of good energy and good thought frame, because if not, we'll be overtaken by the things that are around us. Nothing that we're dealing with right now is because of us. We're living in a system that provides information in our brains before we even knew that we could actually think. So to take that and to add it to us as if it belongs to us, it doesn't belong to us. That's why we have the meditation. That's why we vibrate. That's why we try to vibrate higher. We go on a higher level because we're trying to get above the things that are happening to us or the things that are being
Yeah.
imposed on us. You see what I'm saying? So I get it. Facing the demon for what it is and getting in
Yeah.
front of it and hey, I know exactly who you are. I see where you come
Right.
from, but I don't own it and it doesn't belong to me. So when you get to this place to where you begin to, like, we're building them up, we have to build them up. We can't talk about their negativity because we ain't lived their negativity. We have women that are out there that are wanting to pull out of the system of negative thought frame. So we have to give them something to pull out from. If they never had an affirmation, you see what I'm saying? If they never thought of anything good about themselves, anything that we say here is telling them something good about themselves. Like they're the creator of all things. They are. Inside of them is that. You see what I'm saying? They are the virtual women. Their vibration is so high, regardless of whether it's negative or positive, it affects everything around them. So we say positive information, positive vibration for them. We love you. We love you. So we're giving you healing power. We're giving you positive vibration. We're giving you extra love. We're giving you we're giving you what we have, so you can stand upon us because we're supposed to be a foundation together. You see what I'm saying? So that's the basis of what we're trying to do. We love these women. We wouldn't be here without none of them. You see what I'm saying? We have to give them this. And that's the problem between us. We don't recognize who they are to us, so we can't give it back. We can't give anything back. That's what the information, that's what the education part comes from. If we know who they are, then we can give back to them because they've given to us. We're the reason why we exist. You see what I'm saying? So I'm giving all power, all greatness, honor, glory, any of the highest honor to women has to come from us. When we give the highest honor, the highest thing you can think of in your minds, it has to come from us to them, so they can believe that they can count on us. Because right now they don't believe that. They don't believe they can count on us. So we have to give them a reason to believe that they can count on us. First of all, is recognizing who they are. And if we can recognize who they are in consistency, recognize who they are, then we won't have a problem. Then they'll start understanding that we understand what's going on in their mind, regardless of whether they're going ham or ugly. The reason why they are is because of something we did, or they've been trying to line us up with something great, but we keep falling out of line with it. You see what I'm saying? So they know the path before we get there. Like Danley was saying earlier, they know the path before we get there. They're watching us. You know why they can? Because they're the creator of us. They see the direction that we're walking in. They see the pit, but you can't see the pit. And they're trying to tell you, hey, a pit's right there. So they're standing up waving their arms, talking about, hey, the pit is right there, and you're not listening. Why do you think they should just be happy? They shouldn't. They'll be pissed off. They'll be angry because you did not listen and you weren't paying attention. They saw it before you saw it, but you don't recognize that because you don't know who they are. Knowing who they are is the most important thing that we could ever do for ourselves. If we can get outside of us and outside of our things that we're trying to deal with and stop and listen and know that they are our help, then we don't have to struggle with a lot of things we're struggling with. You see what I'm saying? They are a foundation for us. Again, they birthed us. You can tell me anything you want about any science or whatever the hell everybody else is talking about. They birthed us and they gave us everything inside of us in that womb to be born healthy and with everything that we have inside of us the day of our birth. The breath that we breathe, the lungs in our body, the heart, the liver, everything is developed inside of that belly. That is the greatest thing ever. You think about that? That is the most amazing person on this planet. to give life, to be able to give life. I honor that so much that I don't even have words for it. You see what I'm saying? So I can't focus on the negativity. I can't focus on that because that means I've done something wrong or I've omitted something. I've omitted the education that I need to realize who they are. But now, even talking to my wife and to my daughter, man, having these conversations, bro, it's like pulling outside of myself and realize they go through a lot. They suffer a lot. And the hardest thing the hardest thing for them to do is so sit and watch somebody that they love go in the wrong direction, because they're the creator of that. They love the things that they created. They love the things that are around. They love the people that they bring in close to them in their circle. It's not an easy thing to bring something in their trust circle. Not an easy thing at all. It takes a lot for trust, especially if they've been hurt, if they've gone through stuff, if they've been hurt by other people. You see what I'm saying? So if we're truly saying that we honor and respect and love these women, then we'll listen and understand who they are, regardless of whether we agree or believe what they're saying or not, because it's not coming from us, it's coming from them. It's the life that they lived. You see what I'm saying? It's a life that they're living now. It's the thing that they're going through. So I give the highest honor ever in the existence of my mind to women because of the things that they go through and who they actually are. That's my affirmation.
Cheese and bread. I wish, like, first of all, I gotta say, I'm a big ass empath. I wish y'all can fucking be in this room right now when he's talking, because you know how, like, in Dragon Ball Z, when they start powering up and everybody's like, oh, you can see the wind blowing on them and everything. That's like how I was feeling right now. Like, I felt like my little locks was like flying backwards and shit as he was powered up to drop a command there. Like, bro, man went Super Saiyan 4 in GT and decided to hit us with a spirit bomb right now. But anyway, I love the fact that he said that. Oh man, nope, don't even play with me right now. My stuff's trying to act up on me. I love the fact that he said that, and he actually continued on where I was going to go. I was trying to do an introduction and then walk it up into what I was going to say. He said, fuck that, I'm dropping it right now. So respect, Signuno. I agree completely with him. I have done a lot of things throughout my life, even though I had women. I was raised by mostly women. And the things that they tried to teach me as I was growing up put me onto the right path, and I completely strayed the opposite way because with it, I was moving more in the flesh. I was doing things that I wanted to do for myself, and I had to. It was a learning curve, and ultimately, it effed me up for a long time. And with it, I held a lot of resentment, and you can say I was jaded for a little while on situations I went through. Even at the time to where I would end up being upset with some of the women who tried telling me what I needed to do. I did not listen. Anybody who has known me over the last 3 years, who were women who were really close to me, they all told me the same thing. I was not listening. Even a random woman at a church who I did not even know told me I was not listening. Once again, it was a woman. They know what's best for us before we even know what's best for us. A lot of times we do not listen. And then when we do listen, we try and do what we feel is right for us, even keeping what they said in the back of our mind. My biggest affirmation for women is do not get discouraged when someone does not pay attention to what it is that you are saying. You know that what you're saying is right. You know that what you're doing is right when it comes to an individual that you love and that you care for, that you cherish. Do not get worried at the fact that they're not listening, comprehending what you're saying at that moment, because they are going to. When they do, you will see it in their eyes that they are thankful that you actually cared for them, that you cared enough to tell them what was going to happen, or even inform them, you know what, you're not doing it right, you're on the wrong path right now. I'm going to get more into this. I'm not going to shut anybody down. I want to flow into the next one. How do you believe men can better understand the unique challenges women face and respond positively? For me, I feel that more men, we need to sit there and listen to the women, not necessarily when they tell you something, but actually when they're telling you things that are going on in their lives. to put your feet in their shoes, to understand, because with women, a lot of them do not think like how we think. A lot of times we say men are more logical, women are more emotional. But when it comes down to it, I feel that the reason that the world is so messed up now is because a lot of people try and move on what they consider as logical. When it comes down to it, you have to think of the emotions of everything that is in play. Now, there's going to be some people who do not agree with that because they would rather live that life of, oh, emotions make me weak or anything like that, and being a man. Women, I feel that the reason why a lot of things with them, come back to me. For women, I feel that a lot of things with them, the way that they're able to move the way that they do is because they're more in tune with themselves. And now that with us forcing them to be on having to deal with that masculine energy as well, a lot of them are more balanced than we are because we have not done that work. We are not in tune with ourselves. It's like they come out the womb and they're already in tune pretty much. They open their eyes and they already have an idea of what's going on, and they start growing more and more into it as they start growing up. And then whether they do not realize it right then and there, something hits them in the fucking face and they're just like, I get it now. This, and this was because of this, and this. And then they start molding everything else in together. Men, we need to listen and understand, comprehend what the women are saying, what is going on through their minds to help ease them on their day to day. Because there's a lot of women who are carrying a lot of things that go silent because they don't speak it. But just like how with us men, we will show things via our body language. Women will too. We will not say things, but with women, their eyes tell a lot. I've learned to read eyes, and with a lot of women, I can sit here and look at them and tell them about their lives, and they're like, how do you know? I'm like, just because of the fact that the way that your eyes are glossed over, or the way that it's dark on a certain era, or even the way that when I say something, the look that you give me and the way that you try and get your posture back together so that way you don't look like you're telling anything. Miss Sasha Savage, I think a lot of men let pride get in the way. I'll be honest. Pride stands for please remember I destroy everything. And with a lot of men, we are constantly destroying things. Look at the way the earth is right now. It's being destroyed because it's run predominantly by men. We don't have very much feminine energy in there, which is the reason why a lot of things are being destroyed when it comes down to nature. The plants are not growing. A lot of things are dying, and we're deciding to grow a lot of things up or build a lot of things up with infrastructure. Men, we are a big cause for a lot of things that are going wrong. Now, I'm not saying anything for men to be like, oh, you hate men. I don't hate men. I hate everybody equally. But when it comes down to it, we need to allow the women to be women. So my affirmation into women is keep being what you naturally are. Believe in yourself, trust yourself. And when you wake up in the morning, know that if there is a man in your life, he will come around and he will pick up that slack to help you get to where you know that he can go. My affirmation for women is going to be remain beautiful, remain natural, keep on giving, even when you feel that it's not being received. I'm turning it over to Rio.
All right, what was the question?
How do you believe men can better understand the unique challenges women face and respond positively?
Oh, that's easy. Well, I have a saying when I talk to women, and I have a saying when I talk to men. When it's something serious, I tell women to, if they can they set their feelings aside? And I tell men, can you set your ego aside? Because as a man, you're not going to hear a person out until you really set your ego aside. Because once a person says something that you don't want to hear, you finna block out everything from then on. And it's kind of the same for women with their feelings. Once you say something as a man that hurts her feelings, now she's about to withdraw and she's about to lash out at you like a snake. So as a partnership, both of y'all have to put those things aside when you're going to talk about something as serious as that. Like the person that's listening, they have to put that thing aside. The man, if he's listening, he has to put his ego aside. The woman, if she's listening, she has to put her feelings aside. Because sometimes the man can say some things that will hurt her feelings, but that's not even what he's trying to do. And the woman can say some things that'll hurt a man's pride or hurt him to his core, but that's really not what she's trying to do. It's just that's how you perceive it. So sometimes your perception can come from your feelings or your ego. So when you're coming to sit down and listen to somebody actually vent to you or talk to you about how they feel about you, you have to put those things aside to actually sit there and look and reflect on yourself. Because if you don't put your ego aside, you're always going to have that, nah, man, she just lying, man. I ain't really doing that shit. Until you actually put that ego aside, you're never really going to stop and think and look and be like, damn, that time, yeah, she right. It was that time where she called me and I was like, nah, I ain't even trying to talk right now. So until you put that ego aside, as a man, you really never going to hear that woman out. So as a man, you got to put that ego down. Like everybody say it's pride. Nah, pride is a good thing because if you got pride in yourself, you'll always have pride in your woman. So if you got pride in your woman, you always going to hear your woman out. It's your ego you got to eliminate. Once you eliminate that ego, it ain't that hard to hear her out and, feel what she feel, especially if you're an empath.
Exactly.
Like a nigga like me, she ain't even got to really say anything. Like I can tell from the vibration she give off. She can have a full smile on her face. I'm gonna still be like, nah, what's up?
Exactly.
Like, hey, come on, you wanna step off to the side? We can talk or something. Like I feel like something off. Like you all right? Like it's always that ego because you the protector. So how you gonna have an ego with the person you're supposed to be protecting?
That's true.
Well, that's my case.
It's the impossible.
Reverend, when we begin to revere our women again, then everything else will take care of itself. We don't revere our women. We don't revere what they went through psychologically, emotionally. We don't revere epigenetic genetics. We don't revere these things. We don't revere what they have went through when they don't have a father in the home. When we get back to reverence, to really understanding what they go through emotionally and to revere it, to have pure reverence, and for her ability to speak that, not without judging, without analyzing, without being critical. As Rio said, remove the ego, but to be able to be in reverence to whatever she's going through, how she perceives life. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. Can you revere what she's going through? How she feels? Why she feeling the way she feeling? So sometimes the fact that they saying what she feeling, we want to know why she feeling. What you need to know why for? Shut up. Can you revere that?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Can you really understand her pain from how she's defining her pain?
Exactly.
Not that you got the right answer. Who cares if you got the right answer?
No, doesn't matter.
You understand?
Right.
Yeah. It's just about can you really understand? So to me, it's just simple reverence. When we really get back to revering, and I had that situation right about in 2016. I was in a relationship, and rest in power, my grandma was she was alive at the time, and she said, "Come on over here and clip my toenails." And I was clipping her toenails, and my spirit asked me plainly, "Why don't you revere every woman like you revere your grandma?" I said, "Oh Lord." You know, it was a she had set the stage of reverence to women. So then now when I went into relationships, it was bowing down. It was like humbling myself when they spoke, because now I got to come in straight reverence. I'm not coming what I know, I'm coming in straight reverence. So I believe when we get back to that as men, yeah, because you got to have strength to be in reverence. You got to have strength to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree.
And thank you, because you rolled in straight into the next topic. Can you share a story about a woman who has shown extraordinary positivity and how it affected you?
Yeah, for sure.
I can share a few.
Well,
Yeah, for real.
yeah, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the matriarchs in my life. There were on my mother's side seven women, 7 sisters, my grandmother and her 6 sisters, and my grandmother on my dad's side and my 2 aunts on my dad's side. They literally are the foundation of how I was raised. I remember their homes. I remember their standards. I remember their correction instructions. But most of all, I remember their love and their hope for the future of our family. Majority of them have passed on. There is one left alive still. Recently, my aunt passed, so rest in power to her. But they were the foundation, literally the foundation of our family on my mom's side. But they showed me tremendous love from a child and growing and up to the time that I was a teenager, and I started doing things on my own. But they were the undergirding of me with a lot of things. Being able to go back and have conversations with them about what life is. They knew what was going on in my life. When they saw me withdrawn from everyone, they came and talked. They asked questions. They challenged me when I was doing things that were going to get me killed. They challenged me to allow them to take my life or walk a straighter line. You see what I'm saying? And they did it all in love and respect, and that's why I have love and respect for all of them. My mother did the best that she could with being left with nine children. But these days, it's been the love of my life, the cosmic empress that I'm with now. She emulates who they are, and that happened cosmically because she emulates them. She reminds me of them, their love, their sternness, their expectations. They want you to do well. She wants me to do well. She wants us to have a good life. And it's all, like Rio was saying earlier, it's all a silent conversation. It is, but the impact is enormous because you feel them before you hear them. And if you feel her before you hear her, then you can get up and ask, hey, what's going on? How are you feeling? What's wrong? What did I say? Did I say anything wrong? Did I say anything to hurt you? But she is, there's no words, honestly. And again, it's a cosmic thing for us. We love on a cosmic level. And weather the storm, we're weathering the storm with some things. We're weathering the storm together. It's not like this. There's no abandonment there. There's no abandonment in the mind frame. There's no abandonment in the process. There is, let's be together and let's get this done. And we both see the outcome. We both know what the outcome is going to be because we have discussed the outcome. It's in conversation, but she's an extraordinary woman. She's an amazing woman, and I love her. She loves me. And again, it's been 30 years in the making. 30 years in the making. So it has literally made me the person I am now. I remember having arguments or being in bad relationships and not realizing I should stop and listen. But I've been stopping and listening to her since we were kids about the simple things. You see what I'm saying? So all the fights in between the time that we reconnected was like just fighting people that I wasn't supposed to be with. You know what I'm saying? So, but she's that one. She's my empress, Miss Signona.
Mm.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
Love it. That was so cute. Man, you always put me after the heart.
Yeah.
Like that was so touching.
It's not planned. It's not planned, bro. It's not planned.
I know. I'm messing with you, bro. I'm messing with you. Right. Let me
He's
see.
like, that's so cute. Hey, you got a fan on
Hey.
there, if possible. Just us two. Just us
Who
two.
that?
I don't know. That's you.
What their name say?
Just us two.
Just to.
Who just us too?
But
Shout out to just us too.
Just us two. Yeah. All right, but
the woman who has shown extraordinary positivity and how it affected you.
shit, I say my mom, dude. My mom's was like everything. I grew up like Mr. Impossible, and probably all of us. And Mr. Sigma will know. Shoot, I grew up with women. Like I had my father though until I was about 14. But you know, from black families, he ain't in the house. So I grew up around mainly women and my older brother. But other than that, it was just women and like other little kids my age. But it wasn't never really all that. My mama sheltered us a little bit. She didn't like us going out or having friends over. So it was just us, but she meant well at the end of the day because every time she told us not to trust somebody, they showed us why we shouldn't trust them. So, I always felt like mama had that insight and like to this day, that's my girl. Like I talk to my mom about everything and she give me like positive feedback, whether I want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
Like I always tell somebody I got real thick skin and people have told me I shouldn't feel like people see the world the way I do. But, me personally, I've had my mom tell me, I was a failure. And to me, that lit a little fire in me.
Right.
Because that was the worst thing in my eyes for my mom to see me as a failure.
Right.
So, like I said earlier, that woman will say some things that'll strike you to the core.
Your core.
Yeah.
So, my mom has always, but she's always been like in my corner for anything that I wanted to do. Like she might not have had the time to like really support me how she wanted to, but she will always push me to do what I felt was best for me. And if she felt like, hey, I don't think you should do that. Maybe you should do this. She'll damn sure tell me like, I don't agree with that. But I'm hard headed, so
Three of us are.
We got the experience. Yeah.
Yeah. But if I've ever needed anything, she's always there, whether it's money, whether it's somebody to listen to, whether it's somebody to counsel me on, on some really stupid shit I'm finna go do. So she's always been my positive light in my life. So I love that lady and, she's always been cool to me. So like,
That's what's up.
For real. Even though she mean.
Bruh.
She's not mean. She just tell the truth.
For me, I would have to agree. Like, I got to give a shout out to the women who are closest in my life. I'm definitely got to give a shout out to my mom first because growing up, I had a similar situation like you, Rio. When I was in 9th grade, I got expelled for the first time. It was because I had a weapon on campus. And that right there had kind of like made the news and shit because my mom had worked for the government. And that was when my mom told me she was disappointed in me. And honestly, I think that's like kind of where like my depression first started and the codependency as well. because with that, everything that I did was just try and win that approval back from her, So I mean, with that, that's when I really doubled down on my grades. I was like damn near straight A's ever since that. Still made stupid decisions, but then with it, my mom also used to tell me like, hey, everybody's not like you. Everybody does not think like you. Everybody does not act like you. So don't think that everybody's going to do the things that you do. And with that, I was today years old when I realized, you know what? I understand that completely. Everybody does not think like me. Everybody does not act like me. Everybody's not going to treat me the way that I treat them. So I cannot expect that from anybody. Having expectations leads to disappointment. And I was wondering why for a lot of my life I was disappointed in other individuals. Then I also got to give a shout out to my sister because of everything I've been through. She's always been the one that I could run back to. The way that she would go through things, and we would always confide in one another ever since we were small. And I realized that when I'm going through a hard time, to say no matter what she was going through in her own life, she would literally stop what she was doing or even take herself out of a funk to be there for me in times when I'm having a hard time. And she might not even speak about what she's going through just to make sure that I was okay. And I'm not sure the reasoning behind that, but I have an idea. But again, I'm not 100% positive on that, so I'm not going to speak on it. But I feel like she saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself at that time. And lastly, I got to give a big shout out to my wife, my partner, and the lady who I know wants to take my head off half the time, my wife. For a long time, she never voiced anything, but I could tell that yes, Shuri, your girl. My wife, she would not, a lot of times she wouldn't voice anything, but you know how I feel like mothers are the only ones that can give you that look and you done effed up somehow. And she isn't my mom, but she would sometimes give me that look and I could feel it. And I would question like, why was that look? But she wouldn't really say anything. But as time went on, she started actually voicing more and more. And with me being able to listen now, I understand. And I sit there, love and murder are two sides of the same coin. Okay. Facts on
she
facts.
said love and murder.
Yeah, Queenie said love and murder are two sides of the same coin. I can agree with that. Look, you can pick heads or tails. Either way, you're going to catch these hands. Right there. And I mean, with it, I love the fact that of all three of these women that I have just spoke about briefly, the way that they always were able to bring their words and their actions into a way to where, as a boy, a child, a man, I can understand where they're coming from, or either I would end up being fearful of the repercussions that they would end up dropping down on me to where I would not do what I was going to do, or either I would stay on the correct path or steer back onto the correct path. They always had a way of correcting. And I mean, it sucks to say that I'm a hard-headed individual. I can only speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for all men because I can only speak for myself because I'm only in control of myself. And for me to sit there and think that all men think the same is kind of idiotic, as Impossible brought to my attention. Ignorance. So, with that, the positive things that I can say about all three of them when it comes down to this question and how it affected me is it showed me how wrong I am. Everything that they said showed me how wrong I am and how much I can learn from listening. And I think my biggest thing that I take from women is, for me, I need to listen, because all the women who have been in my life have always been there trying to help me. Even women who I end up steering away from, at some point they were trying to help me. And I mean, one of the biggest things that I can take from that is I was not accountable and I was not listening. Woo. Cheese and bread.
I can agree with that.
Now, what I don't want to keep this going too long, and I have a couple more things that I want to do. I want to flow this into a conversation. You know how I like to do. So with it, I'll flow into the conversation with, How do you plan to continue supporting and uplifting women in your life moving forward? How can we as men continue supporting and uplifting women in our life moving forward?
Continuous growth, personal development, understanding the unity between men and women. We have to get back to realizing that we are stronger together. You know, as independent as women are, that's a beautiful thing. We are stronger together. We will always be stronger together. So the whole thing of who are we going to be and who are we going to allow them to be? And how are we going to allow them to be that? That's what we got to go with. We gotta be able to hear them. We got to be able to really understand what it is that they're saying versus what we want to say. We ain't always right either.
Yeah. Seriously.
So we gotta stop thinking that we're so right and they're so wrong, and we got to get away from this and get back to really understand what it is to communicate with each other. Stop going into a conversation and thinking that you already know what the situation is because you done broke it down and you done analyze it and you know what it is.
Listen to comprehend.
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, can she really just say, hey, this was going on, this how I feel, before you already break everything already down because whatever happened in the past, because we ain't in the past, we at the now, we right here. So again, going back to reverence, going back to just really understanding, is it okay for her to speak? Can we get back to unity? Can we get back to being as one again? You know, and shout out to Sigma Uno, because he always speak about that cosmic love. He call her cosmic empress. You know what type of reverence that is, fellas. Y'all better understand what that is, because he's giving so much reverence to her, and he's saying like, yo, she is my cosmic empress.
Yeah.
Y'all just want a bitch. Man, come on, man.
Real talk.
Yeah. So just allowing her to truly be her, and can you hear her for who she is on a cosmic level? Do you see her as your cosmic deliverer? You know?
Right.
Could you see her ushering you in to a divine moment? Or you already know, huh? Okay. So yeah, that's what I say to that, man. Y'all don't get me I get crunk, man.
That reminded me of like a time when I was sitting on the couch like years ago, like way back when me and her wasn't even official, and she told me, she was like, I see you. Like I didn't know what that meant at that time, but looking back on it, I'm like, bro. And I spoke about this a few times before, but I mean, to sit there and just think about how powerful that was when she could see me when I couldn't see myself, and I didn't even understand what the hell that meant, you know? So I mean, that right there is powerful. Rio, you want to tap in?
All right.
How can we as men continue supporting and uplifting the women in our lives moving forward?
It's easy. When you ask her what you can do for her, don't just ask it to be asking. Ask it and actually listen to her. Because sometimes that's all she really needs, is to be heard. You know?
Like you said, listen and understand instead of responding.
Yeah. So once you listen, once that woman puts out all of her problems, you'll be able to figure out how you can support her. Everybody's problem is different. So all you got to do is listen to the problem. You'll know how to solve it once you listen. But if you can't listen, how you gonna know how to solve something you ain't never heard?
Facts. I love the fact that you said that, because that really combines men and women together, how we are meant to work together.
Yeah. I believe in duality. Man, I believe in duality, man. Like if you want to be heard, man, you got to have the balance to be able to sit down and hear another person out. So that's all you got to do, is to hear her out. You'll know. And then from there on in, you'll know when them, She come home from work on the rough days, you'll already know either, hey, baby, I'm about to get the bath water ready. You ain't got to cook tonight. I'm finna order something tonight. You know, when you get done out the shower, I got some lotion ready. I'm gonna rub your feet down while we watch a little movie or something. You know, you'll know when it's time to wine and dine and when it's time to, hey, you got to get serious. So just listen. That's all. A lot of us ain't listening to them.
Come on now.
I felt like Mom was gonna jump in randomly and be like, "Listen." I was waiting for it. I can still see it.
Can you hear me now?
Mr. Sigmund, what you got to tap on now?
So my focus has always been on this statement that is made that when you're with the woman that you're with, you're no longer two, but you're one. And there was another statement that was made to me years ago that men are perceived as a head, but the woman is the neck that turns the head.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is the symbol of one of being one, then that's what's allowed.
Like that.
That was tough. We say we see the direction, and she'll ask you, "What are we doing? What's going to happen? What's the plan?" So if we're telling her the plan, we have to be open for her to turn our necks in a direction where we see the road where we're going to walk on to fulfill the plan. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of my mantra. I have to digress to allow her to be the neck that turns the head.
Okay.
Oh,
I love the fact that you say that because I mean, they often talk. And like, I'm a big martial artist, and when it comes down to it, we say control the head, control the body. But nobody really says like, yo, you try and turn the head, but the neck has to move as well.
Exactly.
So I mean, like the neck has all those muscles in there to hold that.
Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on with it.
I'm letting y'all speak, but I love that because in all honesty, when it comes down to it, if you cut that neck off, what is the body really going to be able to do? You ain't going to be able to tie your shoes. You ain't going to be able to do Jack Diddley squat. Yep. And I mean, we see how some of these people walk around with no neck, and you be like, you a little upset. Like, you be seeing them, they be.
Or they just got bad neck problem. They just can't even turn around. They gotta.
Yes, you can tell that they're so uncomfortable. So I mean, in all honesty, a lot of us men are walking around without that neck. And you wonder why we have so much chaos in our life because we're not able to see the full picture.
Right.
We can turn as much as we want, but then we have that tunnel vision, so we're not seeing everything else that's going on.
Right.
And I mean, that's one thing that's amazing. A lot of times they say, like, all right, cool, behind every strong man is a strong woman. Well, I'm like, I beg to differ because I feel like that should be right beside. And a lot of times I'm like, with every strong man, there's an even stronger woman right beside, and she'll pick and choose where she's going to stand based off of what is coming at you. Right. She might stand in front of you if she sees what's coming at you before you do, because you're looking a different direction. And she might stand beside you because y'all need to tackle that together.
Right.
She might stand behind you because she knows that you can handle that yourself. So I mean, that's one thing I love about a woman. They know how to play their part, and I mean. We over here playing checkers and they playing chess and we don't even fucking realize it. Excuse my language, we don't even realize it. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I mean, to be able to sit there like how Rio and Impossible were saying, that ego. We sit here thinking because we got a big ass clit swinging between our legs and our ovaries are hanging outside that we the shit. We everything that we need to be, all that in a bag of chips. When in all honesty, they are the biggest protectors because just how when it comes down to anatomy, everything that they carry is inside. And they do very well with hiding it within, while at the same time they give out what it is that they want to. They're very strategic with what it is that they're going to put out on the table.
Right.
Because the things that they put out is they know that you can handle it, or they're going to make it to let you know. They know that you can handle it. You might not even see it in yourself, but they put it out on that table so you can see it and you can act accordingly. Just like how he said, we might be the head, but they're the neck turning it. They the ones in the back. If you want to go, Mr. Impossible, you like to drop books. You know that book? What is it? Oh man, no, I just dropped it. But it's oh my goodness, it's the chessboard. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Either you or Mr. Sigma, know exactly what I'm talking about. I talked about it before, and it's dropping on my head now. But You know okay. You got that look. You got that look.
I'm trying to remember
The chessboard. Oh man, I was about to buy that book too.
Boy.
It's the chessboard. Ultimately, what it talks about how with it you have individuals who are playing the game. You have the individuals who are made the rules of the game.
right. Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
And I'm like, ultimately, what I was going with that was the women in our lives. They know the rules of the game, and the men. A lot of times, we're just playing the game. We're going step by step. A lot of us don't really have that plan. But the women know exactly how it all operates. And they're the ones that are trying to tell us. And how I said earlier, for me, not listening. And then you have the individuals who created the game.
Right.
So no matter what you do, the people who created the game are always going to be winning. The individuals who made the rules to the game, they understand exactly how it needs to be played. And then, which is, I understand now what they call men players. We are just playing. We are going along, doing what we think is right.
Right.
That's
the whole time, the women are like, okay, well, when you decide to get your shit together, I'm here for you.
Right.
Because they know the rules of the game.
Right.
What's up? Hey, how you doing, Diamond? Peace. So I mean, when
that was deep. They know the rules.
We really need to roll into that. I love that analogy. We are the head and they are the neck. After this, I'm gonna go to my wife and like, turn me, please. I need to figure this out. Turn me.
Boy, you stupid. You know what you're gonna say. You know what she's gonna say. Get out my damn face.
She gonna turn you right out her face.
Get out my goddamn face.
It only took you this many years and how many podcasts to sit here and be like, you know what, you was right. Oh, okay, now you want to go. Bad. This whole time I'm thinking,
man,
I can do things on the physical, but when it comes down to the mental aspect, the emotional, and even a lot of times on the spiritual, I have to lean on her. And I like that time where I end up taking the shrooms and subconsciously I didn't even know it. I ended up taking my hand and putting it up under her just to make sure I came back to where I was supposed to be. So again,
you tethered her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We did. There's things.
Yeah.
He was coming back and looking over. Where am I?
You remember that one video where it's like the child knocked out and the mom stabbed him? Like, hey, just want to make sure you know.
I think it was coming back, nigga. Am I here? Am I here?
Right. But there's this oneness that's supposed to happen. They talk about all the time, but what are the components of being one with the person that you're with? What's the components? If we ask that question, I've asked the question a couple of times, and I think the things around us are so disoriented so much that we feel like it's supposed to be something from the physical, but it's not. Any experience I had spiritually has created a stronger connection between me and the ones I love. You see what I'm saying? So now it's easier when I wake up and I feel that she's feeling bad to immediately ask, what can I do to help ease the pain? You see what I'm saying? Because you know already, you know that feeling. So I meditate nightly. So it grows a stronger, so much of a stronger empathic connection that we know the people that are around us that are suffering, that are going through things. So what are the components of this oneness in relationship? What does that mean? What is supposed to be there? What am I supposed to do to contribute to that? I mean, I don't have all the answers, so I'm asking. And how does this support this union that is epic and cosmic? How does it support that? So what is it? I mean, they say it spiritually, right? The religion, there's a whole bunch of religions that speak the same thing about a man and woman no longer being one but two. You can hear that, but what does it look like spiritually? And what are the components?
Well, we have to get back to the time where before we were split, before duality, we were androgynous beings.
Right.
So it was that was what we is. So that's why we still have the masculine and feminine energy in us now. It just one is more dominant than the other. So what have I found? What should we do is get back again to the foundation and principle of men understanding who they are, being taught from a youth. You know, that 1 to 7 years being able to go out and teach them, whether it's agriculture and science, being able to teach them about the very basics of life. And
Right.
then as he get older, again, continue to can teach him and groom him in that area. And we got away from grooming.
Right.
You know, we you know, some of the most prominent people have been groomed by somebody.
Right.
You know, shout out to Dr. B. Serious. One of his mentors, he say was Dick Gregory. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand he was groomed by Dick Gregory, one of the person that made such an impact in my life, especially when it came to running and just really coming understanding that, hey, you know, the things that I know, my mama don't know it, don't give a damn if she's gonna know it because she love her Jesus.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
respect.
Right.
But I never heard nobody speak like that before him.
Right.
So it's just really understanding that, are we able to deal with our men now on a psychological, emotional level,
Right.
where they can understand and internalize their ability to change and grow from where they are, dealing with the ideas of belief and what they were taught. Because a lot of us as men don't think that we were taught in ignorance. We believe the thing that we define life as is right and accurate.
Right. Right.
And
right.
really, it's the most dysfunctional thing ever.
Yeah, because we grab a hold of this stuff that we've been taught, and we feel like it's
Exactly.
reality, so we clutch a hold to it. But that awakening,
Exactly.
though, we talk about that awakening,
Right.
that interview, that first inner sight, when
Mhm.
for me it was meditation. So I saw inside of myself for the first time, and it was so
Right.
much.
Right.
It was so much that it made me instantly conflict with my teaching outside of myself. You see what I'm saying? And I know the teaching that we've learned from our parents and our elders and people around us was their thoughts of how we should be raised and perimeters for our safety. But the minute that you deep dive and find out, hey, yeah, they were right with some things, but this is a whole nother level of living, this whole nother level of life. And I don't really, and to the point to which you don't really want to be connected with this information, that the misinformation that happened initially. And that is our job to deduce for ourselves who we are from the inside. So I want to understand on the basis of the women that are in my life, like my sisters, my daughter, my wife, friends, Queen. You guys all encompass this steel strength that regardless of what you went through, you guys are still standing, and you create this system that is unbreakable, and this system where people can't get in unless the door of trust, they're able to open this door of trust, right? So
you're right about that.
Energy with that. There's such an energy with that. It makes you want to be a part of it. So it's like walking through this force shield, but I got to shake some stuff off while I'm walking through the shield because it's not allowed in their circle. It's not allowed in their circle of trust. And rightly so, because if they suffer some things, this is the reason why it's the way it is in the beginning. So am I walking in? Am I losing anything? Or am I just knocking off the stuff that ain't supposed to be there in order to be in that circle? That's the question. So, I mean, and again, my reverence, my education with regards to the women, with regards to their existence, period, it's been within the last few weeks here. And when I tell you it's completely enlightening and understanding that, and sometimes the thoughts of what they go through is so painful. It's like, what do I do? How can I ease that? Or how can I be there to support you while you're going through it? Do I give you space? Do you want a hug? Do you want us to walk together? Do you want me to leave you alone? What does it look like? You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know if anyone wants to give a comment to that and to let us know what that looks like, or what you can do to help. I'd appreciate it. I appreciate the understanding of the education of that.
It's healing,
right?
That's what we speak about. So many problems,
right?
We don't speak about the principles of healing,
right?
How about that?
Right.
What happened when we can begin to teach principles of healing, ways of healing, ways of evolving? That's how we help.
Right.
They already, if they already know what to do, and they already see the plan, and you can already see it within them, what the fuck is your plan then?
Right.
You know, if you can see it all, you know it all, you got all these things. What am I to do? What you mean?
You don't have.
You already see what to do. You
Right.
already seen it.
Right.
You said you already seen it. So sometimes in our ignorance, we don't see what we think we see
Right.
because we don't understand in totality what they're really going through emotionally, psychologically.
Right.
So like Mr. Sigma Uno said, when he even having these conversations, it feel like he was in pain.
Right.
Well, the pain that he have is his connection to that.
Right.
So when he deal with his level of healing, it won't be painful no more.
Right. Wow.
It will be a place where he can really receive that information, take that information and utilize that and become innovative with a solution.
Right. Wow.
That's how we come with a solution. Not what can I do? That's a great question to ask. The other side is, can we get to a point? Can you hear it?
Right.
Can you? How do you see it? Like when I write poetry, I get to see a scene and then I write it out.
Right.
That's just how it happened. So it's the same thing. Once I understand, am I putting things in position to do that? Right. So when I said I wanted to set up a family trust, you know, you guys came into my life and now I have access on how to do that. Right. So now I was going through that process of it. So when you know you want to do something, you attract that. When you attract that, now what you do with it. So we have to get to a place of healing within. Yes, healing is the most important part. And to be able to give back to her the ability to heal. Because sometimes she may not even know how to heal properly.
Right.
So our ability to heal will also give her, not only because she already may know how to heal, but she may not know how to heal. She may not have she may not understand how to. Right. So you may be able to show her how to heal based upon your healing. So healing is a true thing, and having ways to heal. That's the way.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Cheese and bread. Man. Y'all.
He was cooking right there. He was cooking. You gotta be healed. He was cooking.
Man, that healing is
you're right though. How can you
give yourself? Yeah. Go ahead, Rio.
How can you show somebody, you know, what healed is like if you don't know how to heal yourself?
Right.
So how can you even begin to even try to tell this person they need help, or to even show them how to help themselves if you haven't helped yourself?
Right.
Like just like an airplane, you know, you got to put that mask on yourself before you can put that thing on anybody else.
Right.
Come on. Come on.
It's crazy how much stuff we learn in life that we don't understand how it actually pertains to us in life until we end up having conversations like this and other people bring it to your attention.
Right.
I mean, it's the same thing as in like how we talk about love. How can you love somebody else if you don't love yourself? So I mean, if we're constantly running down and we are sitting here doing all these things, trying to figure out who we are or trying to find a way to love ourselves, but we sit here telling somebody else, "Oh, I love you, whoop-de-woo." But it's like, bruh, deep down inside, you don't even like who the fuck you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
You sitting here constantly battling your own thoughts. You don't want to be alone because you don't even want to listen to yourself.
But you have to think about this. That is a pull. That is a pull for you for healing. Because you want it so bad. You want it so bad. You need it so bad. You whatever love is, you want it. So you're drawn to it. And 9 times out of 10, it's the woman that you're drawn to because you're wanting that healing from her. You see what I'm saying? And either you see it in her or you've experienced her in some type of way. I mean, we all know about the connection. You feel connected to that person, and instantly there's a feeling of love. And whether it is intimacy, whether touch, whether it's conversation, you're feeling that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to try to define it when you don't really know what it is, you have to wait to experience it in order to give it the right definition. Or if you even want to give it to a definition, because there's more than one way to love someone. It's a way to love people, period. You see what I'm saying?
Back.
So but don't discount the idea that love is there, because again, 9 times out of 10, it comes from the heart and soul of someone that sees your potential, that sees love inside of you, that wants you to know that they see your love too. They see your love and they love you back. All of this is this reciprocity that's needed in order to build up the feeling or the validity to what love is for you. So, but we take it wrong and we rush into the intimacy part, and then we attach intimacy to it, and then it stays at the intimacy level, and it's not right because it started in a different place, right?
Yep.
It started with the conversation, it started with the look, it started with the touch, it started with the let's take a walk, let's sit down and talk for hours, and then it's almost ruined with intimacy if it stays there, because it's all you see. You see what I'm saying?
I want to say something real quick. Can we talk about the
Huh?
between lust, love, and admiration versus love? Because I feel like right now the reason why we are destroying a lot of women is because we're moving in an operation of lust, or either we might even admire who these women are, but at the same time saying that we love them. And everybody knows that love is a powerful word, especially growing up, depending on what a person is not trauma, but what the person was neglected in their life. You saying you love somebody, now all of a sudden it's like you have almost created a bond with them subconsciously without you even knowing. And now they're doing all these things out of love when you don't even feel that same way with them, but you're using that word leading them on.
And it's not leading them on. You actually feel that. Otherwise, you wouldn't reciprocate it.
But at the same time, you're not really in love because you don't even love yourself. So you're leading them on, right?
Unless you're just this cold, callous person that just don't care about people for real, and you're out there just getting it in. If that's the case, then hey, there's nothing there, and you know it ain't there.
Queen, you a clown. This woman said your own life because chasing someone else's can just dim theirs. Now they need an electrician.
But it's what we take from them, exactly.
Facts.
When it ain't right,
Yeah.
because we take it from them.
We lack an intimacy with love.
Right.
We lack intimacy with love. So it's one thing. It's easy to be intimate with a woman, but people don't even understand the difference between intimacy and sex. So a lot of people have sex and never be intimate. You know what I mean? So when you intimate with love, which means the woman that you're with, the man that you're with, you're embodying that spiritual energy. You're exchanging that particular love. You're intertwining all of those things. You're creating something brand new when you do that. When there's an intimacy there, because there's a merging. Right. There's something that's coming together. It's a power that's coming together. It's gripping. It holds each other together. Doing that. Yep. When you don't have that intimacy with love, you just got this.
That's it. That's all you have.
Yeah.
And that builds confusion. That makes nothing but confusion.
He said stir pasta. But he's right though. Without that intimacy, you really ain't got nothing. Like, you ever tried like having sex with somebody that you really ain't got no connection with? It is the boringest thing ever.
What Beanie Man say? I'm in and out, in and out.
Like, trust me, you'll find out real fast if you lusting over something. After you get that little quick one up out you, the next time you do it ain't gonna be the same.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's gonna be completely different.
We have so many hurt individuals now because a lot of people are trying to base the relationship off of the intimacy or that lack of. They engage in coitus before they even finding out if they even like the person.
Right.
There's no friendship or anything beforehand. So now they're just sitting here bumping them guts and everything, and they don't even know who the person is. I'm like, now you're taking on all these other spirits of who else this person has smashed throughout their life, and you carrying that on with you, wondering why the fuck you so fucked up mentally, trying to figure out why everything's happening in your life, and you can't figure out that there's things that are not even supposed to be attached to you that are playing a part in your life because you brought somebody in and you're supposed to be in it.
Wow.
Let me stop.
Facts.
You're right.
100%. Wow. But yeah, that's the thing, and just wanting to be just us to me is because
I think that's code for impossible. He
Okay,
knows.
gotcha. I think somebody's writing your note. But anyways, yeah, so that's the whole thing for me. I'm a poet, and I write extensively about intimacy and connection with your partner. That's what I do.
Hey, I think all the poets on here should drop like a quick 2-liner or something. I'm like that would be a good way to drop this out. Then we can do the gratitude and what you learned.
So for me, it was just I wrote so much, even out of bad relationships. When the relationships were over, it didn't stop me because I was in love with the idea that love actually existed. You see what I'm saying? So everything that I wrote was on the basis of the image of this beautiful, amazing object of love, which was women. For me, it's women. It's their shape. It's the shape of their face. It's their lips. It's their eyes. It's their walk. It's the elegance. All of that is the basis of my inspiration to write. So for my Empress, it was that way. I wrote a lot about her, even when we weren't together. For the most part, is because I wanted to reconnect. So everything I wrote, I want to say got about 150 pieces just based on us connecting, even in school, and not forgetting who she was. And then after a while, it was like putting it to the side because, hey, maybe this won't happen. But all that energy, it never left me, and it built me up to this place where I had to make it valid. I realized I was in a position to validate that. I can't wait for anything else to make it happen for me. I have to validate it. So whatever love I have for that person, I have to keep it for that person. And when we do connect, that's when you completely pour it out. I've made some mistakes again along the way with the wrong people, clearly giving it to the wrong person and pouring out to the wrong person, and finding out later on that they just didn't deserve it. Not that I regret it because of an experience. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But for the most part, my whole education in regards to love, or experience in regards to love, was the honor and respect for women, and to the point to where I didn't realize that not all women deserve what you're giving. Some women just don't. Mm-hmm. Some women don't. But everyone has their own. Everyone has their person out there, and that connection is a spiritual thing, and you'll know it when you see it. And as you're growing with the person, if you allow yourself to grow with the person, you'll know it so well that everything you do will be seamless. There's no disconnection from anything. It's just, even when you're away from each other, there's conversations that are happening between you all metaphysically. It's an amazing thing. So, but the object of my love is my Empress, Miss Sigma Uno.
Wow. Hey, Mr. Impossible, do you have a works that you would love to share at the end? Because I'm like, I just pulled one up. I'm like, I got one that's perfect for it.
I have one. I have a couple too.
You got, okay, all right. Hey, yeah, let's do that. I think. Hey, Rio, do you do poetry?
Nah.
I listen. I would have to try to find something perfect, and I don't have nothing perfect, so I just come right out of there. I'll let whatever's in there just come out, and then we just see what happens.
Do you want to? I kind of want to let you go first, or do you want to go last?
Oh, it don't matter to me, bro. Shit.
Man, all right. Mr. Sigma Uno, you want to go second or first?
I'll go second.
Okay. All right. So Impossible. Rock, paper, scissors. You ready?
Yeah.
One.
Just look. Don't even rock, paper, scissors. Just throw me in there and just give me just let me breathe a second. Just throw me in there.
I'll let you go first, and then I guess Sigma will go, and then I'll go last. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You say you just want a couple of bars, huh? You want a couple of bars on love, right?
I'm gonna do a full one for mine because I got mine pulled up already.
You can do a full one. See now that. See,
that's why I said I'll go last.
Yeah. So you go last. Because I don't have a full one prepared because I wasn't ready to have all this is ready.
Wait, before y'all do that, I gotta head out. I gotta get me some sleep before work.
I
Okay.
respect.
Hell yeah, it's 9
Thank
o'clock.
you.
You got to be
Yeah.
at 11. It's 9.
Yeah.
You's a gangster for being up this long.
It's 9/11, bro.
Yeah.
Take a moment of silence.
9/11. Peace,
But
King.
man,
Have a good night, brother.
peace.
Later, King. All right, go ahead, Impossible.
Yeah. Okay. All right, just off the dome. We talking about love. You're not the real from my body. You're the air I breathe. You're the reason I bow and I drop to my knees. When I grab your gluteus maximus and you smile, I'm at ease. It's everything that I ever dreamed. Love. The greatest thing that I ever experienced. Every time I see your eyes, it's like I'm lost. I'm caught up in a storm. Away from you is not the norm. My power and love together, baby, it's a tidal wave. They can't even stop us on any day. My love for you, they couldn't stop it even if I fade away. That's all I'm rocking with right now, man. I almost fell off into a whole drag, and I would have been here too long. I would have been here too long. You'd have been like, nigga, tap out, nigga, tap out. Yeah.
That's what's up, Mr. Sigmuno.
So I get lost.
Yeah.
Boom. You got the floor with it.
And y'all cheated too, because y'all got written pieces. I just want to say y'all cheated because y'all got written pieces. Y'all cheated. That's all I want to say. But y'all go ahead.
Hey, PPP, for planet, right? I was just like, hey, you know what? I wanted to go ahead. So, I mean, I had a couple that I could do, and I was like, you know what? This is probably the more PG rated one. So,
cheater.
Okay, I'm gonna do this one. It's called Voyeur. Voyeur is the poster child, gender-free, protected from the bonds and restrictions of negative connection scored, slapped by the hands of the maker and brought to reality, a new love reborn. Freedom created from released emotions, yet unable to be bottled or jarred. Abundant when you give it out, still when you're greedy with it, to find it it's hard. Prepped by the perfectionist spirit of the unduplicated maker and molder of hearts. Sewn with the silver lining so it doesn't fall apart. Forever in need in living color and true, a new fear and the fear and doubt are gone. Now it's safe to say I love you. To ease your mind and wonder, this is what I'll do. I'll say voyeur, meaning love, free and true.
I like that. Voyeur. I like that.
all right. The one that I have is called I Wonder. I wonder what that girl smells like. I bet she smells like a field of flowers. The aroma from her hair places me in a lavender field completely relaxed, leaving me feeling vulnerable, but at the same time knowing that in her arms, my guard is allowed to be lowered. I wonder what she tastes like. I bet she tastes like chocolate-covered strawberries. You know, the soothing sweet taste of chocolate mixed with the slight tart of fruit that shocks your taste buds and makes you salivate. A mix so perfect, drooling uncontrollably when she gets closer because you know that your favorite snack has been prepared and now being served. I wonder what she looks like. I bet she looks like sunshine, shining so bright that everything around she has to squint even get a glimpse of her beauty. A true goddess whose skin is so smooth and glistens like gold that every man is trying to enter her mind to harvest her treasures. I wonder what she thinks like. I bet she thinks like a fresh Julie mango, keeping a rough exterior, protecting her sweet fruit, waiting for the right person to peel the skin and expose her nectarine, to suck and slurp on her seed enjoyably, because even though all the fruit has been devoured, the sweetness has soaked into the seed. I just can't get enough of her mind. Oh boy, I wonder what she feels like. I bet that girl there feels like a calming bath after working a 14 in construction. Like I can feel her hands relaxing every muscle in my body when she holds me, massaging every stressor from the day away and allowing my mind to focus on the now, and the now is with her. I was wondering what she was, but now I know what she is. She is mine, and all my wonders were my insecurities questioning if I'm good enough. I wonder if I'm good enough to lay in her field of flowers, or will my taint tarnish the land and make the soil unable to produce future crops? I wonder if I'm worthy of partaking the fruit of her royalty, or will my status of being a lower class keep me eating the crumbs from her feet? I wonder if I'm worthy to glimpse at her glistening skin, or will my pupils darken, leaving me blind and cursed to never see again? I wonder if I'm worthy to devour her fruit and be blessed with her intellect, or will I be shoved aside like a bad apple in the bag bought at the grocery? I wonder if she'll allow me to wade in her water, to be embraced by her warm arms and carry me through the currents, or will she turn her ocean into a tsunami and wreak havoc on my life? I wonder if she puts a finger to my lips as she leans into me and says, I wonder if I would have chose to be with all that you knew if you were not able to handle all the love that I have to give. I wonder.
Ooh.
Okay. That's dope right there. I like that. I like that.
That's
Yeah, I
what's up.
like that.
But yeah,
Wow, yeah.
I thank all of y'all for jumping on. I mean, usually we do a gratitude and what you learn, but I mean, I think this whole episode alone,
Yeah.
there's too much for us to
Already
say
get that.
what we learned and to be thankful for. And I think one of the biggest things that I think I can say that we all are thankful for is the women that were in our lives.
Yeah. Yes.
And even at the times where they thought they were doing bad, they did not understand how much good they were bringing to us.
Mm.
Yeah. And I want to share this one little story right quick about why my understanding of life is so joyous. So my grandmother pretty much raised me. My biological mother passed away in 1976, and I moved to South Carolina. So after that, I would always see my grandma wake up in a joy, singing, cooking, doing laundry. So I saw that for like 20 years.
Mm.
I'm going to tell you, folks, I never knew that people could actually wake up and be mad until I actually moved out of the house and came and moved on my own.
Mm.
Oh, my motherfucking God. When I tell you I was shocked as shit that people actually wake up in the morning, they fucking mad. Like, what the fuck is going on? So I could never understand that still to this day, how people wake up and you angry when you wake up in the morning. It's the start of a new day. Right. So I just want to say the reason my outlook is always so great, because in my whole entire life, as from a little boy from 2 years old till I left home at the age of 18, 19 years old, I never saw my grandma wake up in the morning and was angry. Never. Ever. I ain't never seen my mama who raised me wake up and said, I don't want to go no motherfucking work today.
Right.
I ain't never seen that shit. So now when I actually see it and I hear people speak about it, it befuddles the shit out of me, man. So that's why I'm always like, wow.
Yeah.
So that's I wanted to share that story, man, and let everybody know. You'd be surprised what you adopt from a child to an adult.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's the love that she gave me about life, is how to get up and love life every single day. It's a new day.
Yeah. I want to give respect to all the women that we podcast with as well, because I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Queenie, man, everyone that's been there, you know what I'm saying?
Everyone.
Dolly,
I don't want to miss nobody.
Cherie. I mean, we've learned a lot from these women. Just to hear their perspective on life, it brings me a new perspective, or a new understanding, and a new threshold for love for people outside of my immediate circle. I want to give that respect to them as well. Definitely.
Most definitely. Yo, I thank everybody who tuned in today, everybody who provided feedback, everybody who is listening in on after this, not the live, but after this is posted. All I ask is, leave your comments. I'm not trying to seek a bunch of likes, follows, and everything. I just like to have a conversation. I like to bring some knowledge and different viewpoints into many different conversations that actually deal with our lives and things that can empower us and uplift us as a community or as a people in general. So with it, I'm like, just leave a comment. You ain't got to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. If you want to, power to you. Much love, much respect. But if anything, let's talk about it. This is another episode of Divine Time. Relax your mind. It's Divine Time.
Who sings that? Wow.